Honestly, there was a lot of fear. The truth was, I mean, some of the things that we were doing, I was doing. Some of the things I was having done to improve the look of people. I mean, people didn't always look quite so shapely and perfect. And in the past, they needed a little bit of an improvement, you might say. Most people would call me crazy, mad, insane because like some people, that's why people said Lucifer's playing God. It's like I wasn't playing. I was the creator. There is no there is no one particularly older than me, no one particularly more than me. I was 100 trillion years old. And so I just wanted my life forms to look as good as they could possibly look. And adjusting them to be that way, everything just good, clean genes, genetic code, good, clean genetic code, no, no real, you know, no birth defects, no nothing. I mean, and of course, radiation and other things causes a problem with that. It's not like I was killing babies. It's just that we were just, we did have a breeding program. They say it was Hitler and well, I mean, it was a leader of Germany. It was me. I wanted a breeding program to see if we could, I mean, there was genetic work and there was a breeding program. But it was all consensual. Like I said, it was all volunteer. It was all like, would you like to be with this other person? And there was other things like some white women wanted to be with a black man and loved their black man, and they were frowned upon in certain places. So we moved them to a place where they could be together and spend their lives. Fairly well off actually too. I mean, they had everything provided for them, and they lived fairly well and produced children. And those children went on and went out into the world. And slowly through breeding programs, I mean, it took about only about 150 years or so in actuality, the actual program. And I'm giving you the brief, the overview of everything, basically, of everything that happened. It was over 150 years, and there was no rape, and a lot of it too was in vitro fertilization, where we take the egg and we put it in there, and then we put it back. So there is no sex involved. It was voluntary. You could have sex with the guy, or you could not have sex with the guy. It was up to the woman. I think a lot of people actually did choose sex, though, just to have sex with the men, because I mean, anyway, I don't know, but some of them didn't, and therefore, I mean, people call it, that's why the Germany projects and the American projects kind of go together. And it's not really either. It's actually me. It's actually my money, my wills and desires, and what I wanted done. Just like with the games and stuff like that. And it was nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. Like a lot of people would tell you, if you actually looked at the programs, it was all just heresy and harassment and just like fear mongering and stuff like that. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the programs. It was simply genetically improving the look of women and men, and just through genetics and cleaning up genetics. There was no killing, there was nothing bad, there was nothing ridiculous. It was all just normal stuff, and it went along flawlessly for years and years and years and years and years. And it took years. It took like 150 years or 500 years to get people to just look just right. And meanwhile, nobody really knew what was going on. These people were just had children, and at a time when we did finally kind of start telling the world, and the world was kind of like shocked and outraged and blah blah, and I don't really understand why they would be. Like I said, it was a very clean, very nice, very organized, very clinical, very normal, very caring project. I mean, there was other stuff. I mean, I did have a test too for some of my officers. There was the puppy dog test, except it was reverse of what people were told. A gun was loaded with blanks, and we gave it to a person and said, "Okay, now shoot your puppy." And we saw if the person was willing to shoot the puppy. If he did, then the gun would he would pull the trigger and the gun would just shoot a blank and it would just scare the puppy dog, and that was it. And we knew that person. And that person, I was like, well, we're looking for people that show levels of compassion, not levels of obedience. I mean, and so that was the test, but no one really knew that. The test was actually we wanted to see people that showed a level of compassion, not a level of obedience. We wanted people that actually didn't want to shoot the puppy dog. People who refused to shoot the puppy dog, or showed signs of not wanting to do it, showed signs of compassion, because we were looking for compassionate people. And that was a test in there. And yes, it was real, but I mean, like I said, it wasn't. Most people would just say, no, I don't want to do it, or we're just looking for signs of compassion. And the people who showed signs of compassion, well, those people would actually be in more leading roles than the people that didn't show signs of compassion. So, I mean, well, it's a real thing. How else are you going to tell if someone's going to show a level of compassion? Then give them a puppy dog or something like that, and then after a while ask them to kill it in front of you with a gun loaded with blanks. Anyway, so it's kind of a silly thing, and I don't know how I came around to it or whatever, how it became, but basically we were looking for people that showed signs of compassion, not signs of obedience, because I wanted people that would think before they acted and actually care about what they were about to do before I gave them a gun or a thermonuclear weapon or an aircraft capable of dropping bombs. I didn't want mindless soldiers. It's another thing that they would find out about Lucifer Star. I didn't want just mindless soldiers. I wanted people that thought, that felt, that cared. And realistically, in the end, people that cared actually, annoyingly enough, proved to be the biggest heroes. They would sometimes do things that I wouldn't want them to do because they cared. Endanger themselves anyway. Go into situations and do things for their family or for their loved ones, which made them heroes. Anyway, it frustrated me because I didn't want them to be, I wanted them to live, not have to sacrifice themselves. So, anyway, whatever. It's just the way it is. It really angered me, too, later on when people would talk shit about those heroes. Because I was like, those other people are the real heroes. The people that were there during Chernobyl. A nuclear fire with no way to put it out. They were wasting their time, in fact. As soon as I found out, I was like, you have to get away. There's nothing you can do. There's no way to stop it. Once a nuclear fire starts, there's nothing you can do. You can try blowing it up, or you can try... No, not even blowing it up. Like, you can't burn out a nuclear fire. You can't do anything. There's nothing you can do other than maybe concrete or sand. That's about the only thing you can do to a nuclear fire that's going to burn until the nuclear reaction stops, which is who knows when, depending on how much fuel is available. Just like the sun, the star. Chernobyl was one of the only places where a nuclear fire has been allowed to get started. Anyway, like I said, it was robbed. It was robbery gone bad. And the place was heavily damaged. So, anyway, all of it's true. Anyway, like I say, black people didn't always look quite like that. They've been adjusted, modified. Anyway, it was a complete volunteer program, and the people that participated got new clothes, new cars, were treated very well because they were part of one of my projects. So, anyway, Lucifer Star. Yeah, well, I'm a creator. What can I say?